This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Good evening, you're watching NDTV with me, Rishika Barua. This is the show where we take your questions on the coronavirus. If you have any doubts regarding the virus, do's and don'ts to be followed as lockdown is gradually lifted, questions regarding the new rules that the government has put in place, you can call us on the number flashing on your screen. We have a panel of expert doctors as usual joining us in the broadcast this evening who will answer all of your questions. Dr. Shankar Sen, he is a senior consultant physician with the Neotia Get Well Healthcare Center in Siliguri. He's joining us on the broadcast this evening. We also have Dr. Sushil Kotru. He is the HOD and senior consultant department of endocrinology, Max Super Speciality Hospital, Bhatinda, joining us from Punjab. Appreciate you, doctor, for being with us in the broadcast. You know, I want to take the liberty to ask you the first question because 2 days ago, the government tweaked some of the COVID testing rules. It's very interesting because now the government says that patients who are asymptomatic or have mild symptoms can actually be discharged from hospital, with a 10-day period between being symptomatic, 3 days since they've not had fever, and they don't need to be tested anymore. What do you make, of these tweaked rules? What would you like to tell our viewers?
Who is going to take this question?
Yes,
Should
doctor.
I take this question?
Yes, doctor, that's for you.
Those patients who are asymptomatic or having mild symptoms and have fever for 3 days, or asymptomatic do not have fever for 3 days, they can be discharged from the hospital and they can remain in self-isolation at home and take the proper precautions of hand hygiene, respiratory hygiene, and social distancing or physical distancing. So we do not want to have the extra burden on the hospitals. So
right.
We can admit more of those patients who are sick and seriously want admissions in a hospital. So we do not want to have the extra burden on the hospital. We want to keep the serious patients in the hospital and to discharge those patients who are asymptomatic and have mild symptoms of COVID-19.
Right. Dr. Sen is also with us on the broadcast. Dr. Sen, if I could ask you the same question, there is no test now that is required for mild or asymptomatic patients before they are discharged from the hospital. These are new rules. Previously, of course, our viewers will be aware that, there were 2 negatives that were mandated before you could be discharged from the hospital if you were suffering from COVID-19. What do you make, doctor, of the new rules?
Yes, what I want to tell you is these new rules are because the number of patients have gone up.
Right.
And number of patients getting admitted has gone up. So the number, according to the resources available to each state in their hospitals and also to the center, what is happening is now to decrease the load, because now we are testing more and we need to test more because otherwise we can't know how much total the denominator is, means how many people are suffering. So for that only, probably to proper utilization of the resources, nowadays the new rules says that for mild to moderate cases who have been admitted, who are clinically better now after 3 to 4 days of treatment, and up to 3-4 days there are no fever, respiratory distress has decreased.
Right.
For those mild to moderate cases who are not requiring ICU treatment, they might be discharged on clinical improvement without testing. This is a new thing which was not there previously. And for severe cases who are in the critical care setup, they need to be tested prior to discharge because they are more seriously ill patients, and before discharge they can get a single test negative also. Earlier it was 2 tests consecutively at 24 hours apart to be negative for each and every cases. Now it is not for mild to moderate cases, it is only for severe cases, that too only for those severe cases only 1 test can be done.
But Dr. Kotru, if I could come back to you, the interesting aspect is that these patients will now be discharged without that test. And earlier, I mean, if you compare it to what the policy was earlier, where 2 tests were mandated, there were 2 negative tests that were required before you could be discharged from hospital. Now patients who are asymptomatic or have mild symptoms will not be tested at all. Does that worry you? Because, I mean, it is a pretty drastic shift in strategy.
Still all these tests are not 100% confirmatory. Still, we have to follow the social distancing norms and respiratory hygiene and the hand hygiene norms.
Right.
So if we follow all these norms, this will not be a problem.
All right. So hand hygiene and all social distancing norms have to be followed even after your discharge from hospital, even if you have no symptoms of the coronavirus. That's a very interesting point there. Our first caller, Ashwin, is on the broadcast. He's calling us from Chennai. Ashwin, go ahead, ask your question.
All right. Hi, good evening. Basically, this has got to do with, obviously, the team is asymptomatic. I got a message from a private lab saying that I could get tested. Okay. Basically, previously, a lot of private labs are not included. I actually proactively asked for, called up earlier. The point is, considering the fact that Tamil Nadu government has come out and said that about 98% of people are asymptomatic. Okay, the numbers range from 80 to 69 and all that. My point was that they still wanted a prescription. The reason why I'm trying to ask this question is, asymptomatic by nature is we have some minor infections.
No, your question is, what is the prescription? Is that correct?
No, the point is, no, the question is not the two things. Last time I asked a question, if 98% of the population, let's say in Chennai, which is a red zone, is asymptomatic, then whom they are going to spread? That's one thing. And two, more importantly, is it okay to take an antibody test at least without a prescription if it is... it's not got to be the charges. At least where do we stand?
Dr. Sen, would you like to take that on? Asymptomatic patients, how are you going to test and trace asymptomatic patients? That's, of course, a big cause of concern. And secondly, should an antibody test be taken just to reassure yourself, given the fact, and especially if you live in a red zone?
Particularly those persons who are, there are multiple asymptomatic cases, as you know, because you don't know whether they are infected or not. Only in those areas where there is a high chance of getting infected, those areas, the asymptomatic cases need to be tested. Because there are certain zones. Now in green zone, you don't test everyone. But in red zone, you have to think of a person coming with some symptoms to be a COVID positive until and unless proved negative. So those are asymptomatic are the most risky carriers because they don't show any symptoms and they don't come to the healthcare setup. So for that, you don't have any clear-cut rule. Only if you feel that this area needs to be checked, then only you can go for that. And that also according to the red zone, containment zone, and all these risky high-risk zones. But for the antibody testing, the good thing which came up, but later now it has been withheld for some time because of some kit-related problem, where the antibody test done from the blood. But those tests can't pick up from the beginning because antibody needs to get developed after a certain period of time of exposure. Antigen virus, which is done by PCR nowadays, is what is RT-PCR is that it can be taken up from the day one when the person gets infected because it's taken from the throat swab, the nasopharyngeal swab, the endotracheal tube, the direct secretions. From the blood, if you want to get the antibody, it will take some time, and that is for the community. But this was tried, but due to some kit problem, it was not being done. If it can be done regularly, then asymptomatic cases can be picked up with this antibody testing from the blood.
All right. Our next caller, Dr. Ramana Rao, is dialing in from Hyderabad. Go ahead.
Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, sir. Go ahead.
My question is, if the government is also relaxing the confirmation of conditions due to enormous increase in the number, if anybody wants to go personally test, which test is better, whether RT-PCR or TrueNAT?
All right. Which of the different tests that are available is actually better? Dr. Kothuru, would you like to take that on?
RT-PCR is the best possible test what we have right now, whatever the technology we have, and it should be done from either nasopharyngeal swab or oropharyngeal swab. But the technique should be properly used. If we are not taking properly the sample, might be we will get a false negative results. So proper collection of sample is very important. We have to train the staff to take the proper sample, and proper collection and proper sending of the sample is very important. So RT-PCR is the gold standard test for diagnosing of COVID-19 infection.
All right. So RT-PCR is the most reliable test. Dr. Sen, is there anything you'd like to add?
Now, definitely, to our confirmatory test, this is good because this is taken directly from the sample is taken directly from the throat or the nasopharynx where the virus resides at the beginning. But later on, the antibody will develop much later. By that time, much time has passed. So for diagnosing and treating a patient from the beginning, RT-PCR is the diagnostic test of choice, and that is being done nowadays.
All right, so the RT-PCR, and just to break this down for our viewers, Dr. Kothur, if we could come back to you, could you explain to our viewers what is the RT-PCR test?
This is reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction. What we do, we take a deep nasopharyngeal or oropharyngeal swab, and after that, that swab is sent for RT-PCR analysis. And it is once the patient acquires infection, it is during that period of once the patient acquires the infection from during that incubation period, that the chances of transmission of the infection is much more. And if we take the sample during that period and the sample is sent to the lab during that period, we'll get the positive result of RT-PCR. It is around in 60 to 90% of cases we'll get the positive result, not in 100% of cases, depends on the way we take the sample.
All right, so this is essentially the swab test, right, doctor? The RT-PCR is the swab test, right? Yes. Our next caller, Raghupati, is dialing in from Chennai. Go ahead. Mr. Raghupati,
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir, go ahead, ask your question.
My question is regarding discharging the passengers, asymptomatic or mild symptomatic passengers.
Right.
After treatment, they are being treated now as per the guidelines of ICMR without a RT-PCR test.
All right, Dr. Sen, I think, this is the big question that we asked at the beginning of the show today. Discharging asymptomatic patients or those patients with mild symptoms, without conducting a test. Would you like to take that on?
This question was previously discussed, and probably he heard it. But one thing is very important. Till now, what were the guidelines were? Those are now being changed recently. These guidelines came 2 days back. So what is happening is depending on what government is thinking is regarding the number of cases, the proper usage of resources, and to have, suppose if I want to test more, I need to do more RT-PCR test among the general population who are getting symptoms. For them, what earlier it was that we used to test twice before discharge.
Right.
One test done, it is even if it is negative, we used to test another after 1 day or 24 hours to confirm that it has been truly negative. Even that it was shown that during that period of time, we used to think that the person who had getting discharged is totally cured of the disease for the present time, and the person will go for 14 days of isolation or home quarantine from that point of time. Now, except for severe cases, even we are not testing. So these guidelines we need to follow. Probably for proper usage of resources, this RT-PCR test should be done for more detection of cases. This is being done. But definitely personally, I feel that there is a chance that if the patient is still dead, the patient's symptoms have gone, but if the patient is carrying the virus, if the patient is negative, whether this thing can cause problem.
But then, if I could just bring in Dr. Kothur as well. Yes, if I could just bring in Dr. Kothur as well. Given the new guidelines, doctor, it becomes even more important, like you said, to follow hand hygiene, social distancing, and in this case, patients are advised to go into some kind of a home isolation as well.
This is very important. Even though patients might be asymptomatic, the chances of transmission of infection is almost the same as cases of who are highly symptomatic. So it's very important, once these patients are discharged from the hospital, once they go back to their home, they should keep themselves in self-isolation. So they have to follow the proper respiratory hygiene, the hand hygiene, and the physical distancing or social distancing.
Right.
So they have to keep themselves in a separate room, have a separate washroom,
it's very well for the government to prescribe that patients should stay in complete social isolation at home. But how many patients actually have the luxury of space to be able to isolate at home? So it is going to raise several questions for those patients who don't have the luxury of having a room to themselves perhaps. But we'll talk a little more about that. Our next caller, R.S. Chehal, is joining us from Chandigarh. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I have a very basic layman question actually. I want to know that, the masks have been recommended to be worn by everyone, almost everyone, right? And I have heard that there are two sides of a mask. If you're infected or if you have a fever or a cough, you wear it in a certain way. And if you are protecting yourself from others who have cough or fever, then you wear it in a certain way.
All right.
So how exactly do you identify which side of the mask is to be on the outside and on the inside. I'm talking about the 2-ply and 3-ply regular
all right.
surgical
Mask etiquette, a lot of questions coming in on mask etiquette. Dr. Sen, are there different ways to wear the mask if you're infected or have symptoms or don't? What would you like to tell our viewers about mask etiquette, given it is mandatory when you step out of the house that you have to wear a mask now?
So the basic masks we are using nowadays, we advise people to use is, even for healthcare workers who are not working in an environment where they are getting chances of getting infected from COVID. Then what is happening is we can do the surgical 3-ply masks. But that is very important because the normal way we use it, that is very important. There is a procedure to use it, and you should try to always cover both the nose and mouth together. Sometimes it happens when the mask comes down and people think that I'm all okay, fine with it.
Right.
Most important is this protects not only from others, but it will protect from my respiratory secretions to become droplet to infect others.
Right.
Because the mask I am using for asymptomatic, because I am not having any symptom, I am a general layman going out, they have to use the mask.
But doctor, then what about a normal cloth cover? Is that not enough for a lot of people who can't afford to buy new masks and dispose them regularly? If you're putting a handkerchief to cover your mouth and washing it regularly, is that not enough?
That is definitely better than nothing, because that also prevents the spread of the cough and those respiratory secretions to some extent. But they can't prevent the virus to enter. Because
Dr. Kotru, anything you'd like to add on mask etiquette?
That is for the general public going outside for grocery shopping or for any sort of shopping. They should use any sort of cloth mask, but try to cover both the nose and the mouth at the same time.
And what if you have a cold or a cough or you're exhibiting symptoms?
Then don't
at
go
the same time, you have to follow the respiratory hygiene, and if you want to prevent infection spread to others, you can use a simple cloth mask. But if you want this surgical mask, 3M mask is important for healthcare professionals. If you start using this mask for general public, there will be scarcity of the mask for
cloth
healthcare
cover or a regular mask is good enough. And like the doctor said, if you're exhibiting any kind of symptoms of a respiratory problem or have a cold or a cough, then do not go out, because you could potentially be a carrier and could potentially infect others as well. Both our doctors are going to continue to be live with us. Right, doctor, I'm afraid I'm going to have to slip into a very short break at this moment, but both our doctors are going to continue to be live with us on the other side, so keep the questions coming.
Mom.